After the suspicions of Hayato Kawajiri led to his death by the hands of Kira Yoshikage, our hand-loving murderer is driven into a corner. Not wanting to be discovered by anyone of what he'd done or who he was, Yoshikage Kira begins to grow desperate as his father explains that although he may be able to fool the police into thinking Hayato hit his head in the bathroom, Kishibe Rohan was already investigating Hayato. Feeling an incredible despair, Kira began to bite his nails until it bled, telling his father that he would not live in fear and that he would not leave the town of Morio, when he was suddenly pierced in the arm by the arrow. The arrow itself had chosen to strike Kira, and we are taken back to the start of that morning with Hayato alive once again. Kira Yoshikage's appearance had changed yet again, and his killer queen had acquired a new ability.
Another one bites the dust.
The third bomb bites the dust, which had developed after Kira was pierced by the arrow yet again as a booby trap that once activated, it allows Kira to reset time for up to a day, allowing him to save himself from being discovered by anyone. Placing bites the dust on Hayato, Hayato left off to go to school in the morning when Rohan approached him, activating Heaven's Door to investigate the child. Rohan would soon find his strange predictions of what would happen next as it suddenly began to rain and a Pepsi sign was struck by lightning, as stated in Hayato's mind, which was seen by Heaven's Door. Continuing to read the pages of Hayato, Rohan finds out that his father is Yoshikage Kira, followed by Rohan's death as Killer Queen's third bomb activates.
Another one bites the dust.
After this, we're taken back to that same morning yet again with Hayato remembering what happened before and Kira telling him he'd been protected from Rohan by Hayato. Normally when a person, or in a few cases an animal, is pierced by the arrow, they are granted with the ability of a stand. However, if the arrow hits the stand, it is granted with a new form titled Requiem, which gives the stand a great power boost as well as changing appearance. There are only two stands that have been shown to gain this Requiem ability, being Silver Chariot and Gold Experience. Both stands' Requiem abilities were related to the danger they were in at the moment of gaining the ability. Polnareff wanted to get the arrow away from Diavolo, which led to Silver Chariot Requiem swapping the spirits of everyone as well as putting them to sleep and causing stands to attack their user if they tried to attack the arrow. Gold Experience Requiem can turn the opponent's willpower and actions to zero, which ended up being the ultimate counter to Diavolo's King Crimson ability of erasing time. If you're confused on that, I made a video explaining it, which will be linked in the description below. Now, is Killer Queen's Bites the Dust ability a Requiem? It is never officially stated, but I think it is in my opinion. Although Killer Queen does not change appearance like Chariot and Gold Experience did, Kira Yoshikage's own appearance does change, and like the stands mentioned before, it is given this ability of reversing time to protect the user from its current situation of danger. Since Requiem abilities are given when the stand is stabbed, however, and this Requiem concept wasn't introduced until after Kira's situation, it's safe to say that Killer Queen Bites the Dust technically isn't a Requiem stand, although it shares the same traits as the others, which can technically make it seem like it is a Requiem, and in my personal opinion, I think it is a Requiem stand. Giorno was also pierced by Black Sabbath's arrow, but unlike later on when his stand goes Requiem, Black Sabbath's arrow wasn't in Giorno for too long, so we can assume that the arrow would have to remain in the stand user for a bit of time before they achieve the Requiem ability. So long story short, it's safe to assume the Killer Queen Bites the Dust is indeed a Requiem ability, since the criteria of having Requiem is having the stand stabbed. Although Kira does get stabbed, it is kind of in there for a little bit. So it's safe to assume that the time constraint having the quote-unquote, stand or whatever, the user gets stabbed by the arrow for it to go Requiem in the first place, it's safe to say that we can call it a Requiem. It's pretty much the same ability of changing appearance, although Killer Queen itself does not change appearance. Kira Yoshikage does. His hair slicks back and he has these black streaks going across his head. And Killer Queen gains this ability of, rewinding time so that he can avoid getting caught, which in the end he does get caught. He fucking dies. What else did you expect? But it works. It did what it needed to do, and it got him out of a lot of tight situations for a while. So if you guys enjoy the video, go ahead and feel free to subscribe if you're new to the channel. I'll be uploading more content on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, explaining a bunch of stuff that you probably didn't get the first time, things like this, and just little things like that. I also review the Diamond is Unbreakable anime episodes, and I'll continue to be doing those until it finishes. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Another one bites the dust, and another one gone, and another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust.